If you are considering Pavilion Square, this video is not a tour, it's more like a decision guide. Because most of the high-end property purchase fails during the exit, where the buyer realizes that the property doesn't fit into the lifestyle or the financial plan. So today I'm going to walk you through who Pavilion Square is designed for and who should think twice. Most content online shows you beautiful showrooms, views and facilities. And that's so useful. But it doesn't help you answer the harder question. Is this the right asset for me? Now let's zoom out for a moment. Pavilion Square isn't just a building. It represents a category of property that is central, branded, high-end, and also lifestyle linked. Now this kind of property development attracts three main buyers. Now, the first type of buyer will be buyers who appreciate the address value. Being connected to Pavilion and the Bukit Bintang zone carries a certain social and commercial weight. Now, Pavilion itself sits more than 450 retail and also luxury brands here. Pavilion Shopping Mall is also one of the tourist hotspots where tourists will label it as a must-go shopping mall in Malaysia. Besides that, major retail destinations like the Fahrenheit 88, Lot 10, Sungai Wang, Times Square, Star Hill and Lalaport is also around the corner. So this creates lots of daily foot traffic and commercial act just right outside your doorstep. Now the second type of buyer will be buyers who appreciate managed living community. So high-end development like that usually focuses on high-end security, controlled access and a certain standard of community. So for people who know Pavilion developments, they are well known for being development that focuses on security, high privacy and quality living. Now thirdly, this kind of development attracts buyers who think long term. So buyers who buy in Pavilion Square usually think in terms of years and not months. So definitely Pavilion Square is not a fast flipping product. But the same positioning means that this type of development is not for all property buyers. So who should buy Pavilion Square? Now, the first type of buyer is called as the prestige lifestyle buyer. Now, this first group is someone who values being central. They like being close to Pavilion, dining, business zones, and the energy of the city. And they don't want to spend time managing a property. They want a managed, high-quality living environment. So for this type of buyer, the value is not just in the unit size or the price per square foot. The value is in the convenience, the image, and how the property fits into their daily life. So if you see your home as part of your lifestyle and identity, it's not just a financial instrument. This is where Pavilion Square makes sense. Now the second type of buyer is called as the long-term capital holder. Now this is not someone chasing the highest rental yield in the market. They are more focused on holding quality assets in strong central locations. And for them, Pavilion Square works as a city asset, something that sits in prime zone with branding, visibility and also long-term relevance. And they understand that premium properties tend to move differently. They may not spike quickly, but they often hold their position better when markets become uncertain. Having said that, now this type of development in this location like Pavilion Square can easily fetch a 10 ringgit to 12 ringgit per square feet for rental of the unit. And the target tenant will be a higher end tenant market group. Now let's talk about the buyers who should now slow down and think a bit more carefully before purchasing Pavilion Square. Now if your main goal is purely to maximize rental return, this type of high-end centrally located property may not always be the most efficient option. It has good rental yield, like 5%, however it is not the highest. Because premium developments usually prioritize tenant quality, stability, and community standards over high turnover. That means your returns are often steadier but not necessarily the highest in percentage terms. So this isn't good or bad, it just needs to match your expectations. Okay, so last but not least, who should not buy Pavilion Square? So there's a group for whom Pavilion Square is simply not designed. If you prefer landed style living, environment that is quiet, you may feel that this environment may be too active and too central. And if you are looking for fast appreciation or short-term flipping, this isn't that kind of product. Pavilion Square is actually built for people who value position and quality over speed. So overall, in Malaysia, the property price here is still considered reasonable as compared to many other countries. So for example, a property development like this, a high-end development like Pavilion Square, will cost you about 2,000 plus to 3,000 ringgit per square feet. But as compared to many other developed countries like New York, China, or even Hong Kong, the pricing that we are looking at is around 8,000 to 10,000 ringgit per square feet. So that's why a lot of our foreigner friends would prefer to buy in or even migrate to Malaysia due to the property cost here. People can actually own a high-end development property in city centre, the central business district, at a fraction of a cost.